Hi everybody, it's me Edward Jones back with a new video. Today I'll be discussing a tool that would be good to use and good to possess during an emergency, especially if you live in the city. And it may seem kind of unorthodox that a city dweller may have this type of tool, but I will explain its usefulness through my own experience. Fire axe. This is a NUPLA fire axe. It says NUPLA on the handle. Has a 32-inch hickory oak handle, an 8-pound head, and this is actually a pretty good tool to have for emergency purposes. We had a couple months ago, we had a tree fall down. We had a heavy windstorm in Colombia, and it wasn't really a big tree, but it had various limbs that made it very difficult it blocked the entire parking lot in front of our house. So around 1 in the morning, I heard the tree crash. So me and my friend, we went outside, and I automatically knew what had to be done. I had to cut up some of the limbs to move them off the sidewalk, get them out the street. And so I went inside, grabbed my gloves, got my boots, got on a jacket, and I grabbed this axe. This is a good tool to have if you ever find yourself where a tree may fall down and you don't have a chainsaw handy, or you may have to break your way into a room for an emergency, or break your way out of a room. Like you can bust through doors, this can break through windows. Firefighters use it. Essentially, it's a firefighter's tool, but it can be used as a personal tool for all you preppers out there who live in the city. It has a pick at the end. What separates it from normal axes, it has a pick at the end of it. I've used this pick to move logs. I remember my grandparents had a tree fall down in the backyard a couple months back, and I had to drag some of the wood around. So I was actually able to just put the pick into the wood and drag the wood into place where I had to use the chainsaw. It made it a lot easier. To drag around heavy loads. You can also use the face of the axe, which is this top part right here, to break to bust down a door. If the door is too strong and you want some of those weak points are where the locks are, where the hinges are, you can actually use the face of the axe to strike that area on the door like that, and try to weaken some of those points, make it easier to get the door open. And of course, this is a guard. It has a, of course, you gotta have a sharp edge to chop through things. There's also a pretty good splitting axe. Not as good as a maul would be, but if you had to split maybe logs that are about, I would say about maybe 6 to 8 inches in diameter, or maybe even 10 inches in diameter, this is a good tool to have. Like I said, with an 8-pound head, if you know how to use an axe appropriately, you can split something with one blow, because all the weight as you're swinging it will be transferred to this head, which you want this to be kind of heavy, so it transfers a lot of energy into what you're trying to cut. This has a hickory handle. A lot of axes out there have carbon fiber handles, which are fiberglass, which is very good for durability. But a hickory handle is just as good as long as you keep it coated and maintained with a finish. It'll keep it from splintering and splitting. It'll keep it from swelling when it gets wet. When I was out that early morning, like I said, it was 1:30 in the morning, and I had to use this axe. The axe held it very well. With any tool you have, it's good to have a means of maintaining it. If you have an axe, you want to make sure that it's sharp. You want to make sure that that the blade is actually pretty sharp. That you won't spend so much time struggling with chopping something down because you have a dull axe head. You want to make sure your pick is make sure the pick is tapered to a good point to where it be effective in puncturing wood, sheet metal, things of that nature. And if you live in an urban environment, you may have to break through those kind not think about it as much, but with knives or guns or any other metal surfaces, rust. So I want to make sure that if it looks pretty shiny or glossy, it's because I recently painted it. From the various times I've used it in the past, and I've only had this thing for 2 years. It was a Christmas gift from my mom. Thanks, mom. Um, I had the paint was wearing off, so I have to tape off where I don't want the paint to be, and just spray paint it. One thing I learned about conditioning axes is if you spray it with WD-40 and you leave it alone for about a week, maybe in an environment where it's kind of warm, the WD-40 will actually form a coating on all the metal. You'll notice that when you pick it up, the steel looks kind of glossy. And that's WD-40 adhering to the surface. You can use that, or you can use grease, or just regular, maybe just 3-in-1 oil, whatever you can to keep it prevent rust from developing on all the bare metal parts. Let's see. That's what I use. I use Rust-Oleum gloss protective enamel for the red, and to keep the axe head sharp. I bought this a couple months back. It's the Puck. It's a dual grit multi-purpose tool sharpener. All you need is this and some oil, and you just rub it in a circle on the coarse side to get an edge started, and then to get the edge smoothed out and sharp, use the fine grit. It's kind of like using the coarse grit and fine grit sandpaper. Another thing you can do is, like I said, if you have a wood, you refinish this. Check it for cracks. If it has cracks, it's good to maybe break it and then replace it, so that you don't have to worry about it breaking during a time of emergency. I'm not sure if I plan to do anything do any other mods to this. Maybe a lanyard, at least to keep it secure on me when I'm actually out and about. If I ever have to chop wood again during an emergency situation, or chop through a door or something like that. But this is a very good tool to have. Live in an urban area, you may find yourself having to go in and out of buildings, if the situation called for it. And, pry bar is good. Sledgehammers are also good. But for dual purpose, for multiple uses, or I guess since it's called a multi-tool, a fire axe is a good multi-tool. But yep, I'm gonna try to do more videos on various tools that are good to have, to explain their uses in the urban environment. But this is my tool, fire axe. Always remember to keep your tools sharpened and keep them well conditioned because in an emergency situation, it'll take care of you if you take care of it before things go south. But that's my axe. I'm Edward Jones, and thank you for watching my video.